Okay.
We're in Athens.
Yeah. It was a really horrible trip. Basically, you saw with the dogs waiting at that station for ages for that train, which was delayed, so we were really worried we wouldn't get the second train, which went to Athens. We got in at that station at 1 minute 2, and luckily the Athens train was actually on the other side of the platform, so we literally just sprinted across. The two French girls we met were like really chill, and we were like, is this Athens? They were like, and we were like, Tia and I were like, Athens, this is Athens, like running around. People were like, okay, and it was. So we were like, oh my god, we're finally on the train. And then we looked above the seats, because usually if there's reservations they have like little names and like
we sat on
paper.
that train, didn't we?
Yeah, but no, listen. So it's literally like paper, and there wasn't any. So we were like, oh okay, so there must not be any reserved seats, kind of thing. So we sat down on this floor. With this woman, and we were like, okay, this sounds pretty good, like, nice.
No, that was the second train.
No, which is this train, Tia.
Oh.
It's been a long night. So we sat there for a while, and we're like, okay, cool. Started to get our stuff out,
Like
and then this,
minutes,
yeah, it was literally like 25 minutes, and then this family came by, and I was like, Tia, I think it's their seats, but they look quite British. I don't think they're gonna ask. So just don't look at them in the eye. It took him a while to ask. He did go back and forth. And then he came over, he was like, sorry, and like showed the ticket and was like, this is our seat, kind of thing. So we all had to move, and we were all really pissed off. But the woman that had the luggage next to us, she was really nice. She already had a seat booked, but she wasn't sitting in it. I think she just thought the same, like, oh, there's room, I'll sit here. Because when we first got on, there was seats available. So then we were like, looking around for another seat. And I think we actually found, honestly, a lot of it's a blur. We were so tired, it was such a long trip.
It was like midnight by now.
Yeah, it was about midnight. So I think we found another seat. We got moved again. We ended up, I remember at one point we ended up standing in this really narrow corridor. It was more narrow because remember when we sat on that other train and we sat on the floor and put our bags down, there wasn't room to do that where we were. So we were just standing like this because we had our bag packed on to the side, so people had to literally squidge past us. And we stood there for a bit, and we were like, okay, well there's about 4.5 hours left. And I was like, okay, then I'll put my headphones in and I'll listen to Hamilton. Because if I listen to that twice, then by the time we're there, it'll keep me awake. And by the time we're there, Hamilton will be over. And so I started listening to it. Tia was getting really frustrated. She was like, Lucy, you rapping Hamilton isn't helping me. I want to kill myself. I was like, okay. And then we decided to try to move down because there's like a 10-minute break or something. Or maybe that was after, honestly.
No, that was then, yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was then. Yeah, there was a 10-minute break. The thing is, okay, like any trains, even though it's Europe, you're still not allowed to smoke on them. There were so many arrogant men that were just standing in the corridor smoking. And obviously it's like hotboxing because there's no windows, and Tia and I, when we were in the hallway, we're trying to shove this window open. Like, I said to a guy, I saw him like about to light up, I was like, can you please not, like, we have to sleep here, like, we're standing here. This is where we are all night. I was like, oh. And he walked down the corridor a little bit and then lit it up. So it was filling it up and we couldn't open the window. Anyway, there's a 10-minute break, so everyone went out to smoke, and we were like, okay, quickly, let's find another corridor that's like by the actual doors, so it's a bit wider, that we can put our bags down and just sit there like we did on the last train. This is with the creepy men.
Oh.
Yeah. So we found a little space, and there were some people's bags already, but we're like, let's just squidge in here. So I'm literally like squeezed up like this, and people are all out having a fag, and then they come back in, and obviously like there was men there already, and they'd put their bags down, so we were like surrounded and we were just kind of like squidged. She was on the other side of the hall, so it was like a tiny gap for people to go by. Honestly, it was so packed. There was so many people standing. There were some people sharing seats. It was really third world. I mean, not that extreme as such, but it felt like it. And everywhere that we passed, the trains were all graffitied. Inside was nicer than other trains we've been in, but the whole sense of it was really like,
it was horrible.
It was horrible. And like, so everyone came back in, and then someone else started smoking, and we were in a smaller space, so that filled it up, and we were just like, oh, I can't deal with this.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking suffocate.
So sorry.
Sorry.
And yeah, so then there was a guy on the last train with us when we were sitting in the corridor. He was really nice, and we obviously we recognised each other, so when we passed him, you know, we like smiled and walked by. He saw that we were like curled up in this chair, and then we saw that like 2 seats further in that corridor were the 2 French girls we met, and they were sharing a seat and talking to a guy next to them, and he said, "What cream?"
The body lotion.
Oh, I put it away.
Oh, okay.
And then we were talking to him. He said, "Oh, I saw them. They were standing in the corridor. If it would have been you guys, you know, you'd be here." We were like, "Okay." And then the other guy was like, "Oh, I'm leaving in a minute, so you guys can come sit here." So we squidged with the.
There was 4 of
there
us.
was 4 of us on 2 seats, with no room, and sitting on top of each other. And then we were talking to. We learnt his name was John.
Paul.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm talking about anymore. We learnt his name was John. He was so lovely. And then when the other guy left that seat for us, he said, "There is the guy just behind you. It's his seat, so he might want to sit back down. So just be aware." So we're like, "Okay, great." We sat there for, I don't know, it could have literally been like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour. I have no idea.
It was only about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
No,
then.
actually, you're right.
It could have been. I honestly don't know.
I don't remember.
And then John said to us, like, "Look, there's a sleeper cabin down there that's empty that not a lot of people know about, so if you want to rest, go down."
Into the hallway.
No, he said the sleeper cabin.
Oh yeah, but they were all full.
So we were like, alright. And then next thing we know, that guy came up and said, "You know, I want to sit down, like, it's my ticket." So we were like, okay. So we literally gather everything up. We're really tired at this point. I don't even know what time it was. Like, it could have been 3, 4. What time was it? What time did we get in?
About
5?
3, I think.
Maybe 3. And we'd been moved so many times. We were just so tired and gone, and we hadn't drunk any water. We had some apple juice on the last train. We hadn't eaten for like 24 hours except from like some crisps on the last train and an apple. And so we're just like gone. And we walk down and we see the sleeper cabin he was talking about. It was literally like crash mat, like a room, like, you know, where kids play, with just like or like crash mats and things. But it was so full, like everyone was just like lying in it, and we were like, we can't fit. But that hallway was empty, and that's like amazing. All the others were so full, so we were like, okay, well, let's go down here. There's a bit bigger where the disabled toilet was. So we put all of our stuff there, and I literally remember I laid on all the bags. So I was like, I know everything that is important to us, and all of our stuff is in these bags. So I had a blow-up pillow and I laid on the bags, and we tried to get some sleep. And then John came down.
I literally got no sleep whatsoever because John got out his books about Athens
and
was showing
so
me all the
lovely.
pictures of the yachts. Yeah, he was lovely.
And he was like chucking coffee to stay awake, and
He was awake lemming all night. He was mental.
but anyway, so yeah, and then we basically wake up the next morning.
You say wake up.
Stumble up from a doze, and then getting our stuff together. I'm making sure I have everything in the bags, and I couldn't find my phone. Now those who like know me know that I do misplace my phone a lot, so I was like, okay, it's probably, I know I put it in the little bag, I'm going through the little bag too, I can't find it, I need your help, I'm really like panicking now, I'm going through stuff, like I had it on me, I had my headphones in it, and then I was trying to think, like, I must have brought it with me when I came, I must have, but we were so, I like, literally now, there's so much that I blanked out from the journey because we were just so tired. Yeah, so, sorry, I'm just putting my shoes on. So we go to get, like, I'm really panicking now, so he's like, calm down, just check your stuff. I did again, and then John was being absolutely lovely. He was like, calm down, it's okay,
He stayed there.
empty your bags, all of this, which I did. I was getting really upset by this point. The train was gonna just go, so we were searching, and they were like, where's the last place you definitely had it? And I was like, with the girls, I was listening to music. So we went to see, because we thought if I've dropped it, the girls would have got it, wouldn't they?
Mm.
So yeah, so we went there, really panicking, really sad.
It was such a horrible trip.
It was a really horrible
the worst trip.
Anyway, the end of the story. Basically,
John basically took us through the metro to the police station. It was like 4 AM at this point.
because the security was literally like, were you asleep? I was like, yeah, and they're like, oh, it's probably been stolen.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to look. I literally ran through these really packed cabins going, I've lost my phone, I'm sorry, can I get through with my phone? Because everyone's a different language. Which they let me through and everyone's just like looking at me. Couldn't find it in those seats.
So we went to the police station, we went on the metro. John was lovely, he took us the whole way. He went into the police station with us, he spoke to the policeman. I'm sorry. He went to the policeman and he said, you know, the policeman basically said that we need to go to the tourist police office. Because they've got a translator there and everything, and basically that's what we needed to do. So what he said is they don't open till 8 AM and it was like 4, it was 6 by then. No, we got off the train at 5 AM, so yeah, everything was after that.
So he was like, there's no point looking, like they're not going to find it and we're gone in a day, let's just get back to the hostel. John was like taking us everywhere.
So yeah, we did that, and we said, okay, we're going to go back to the hostel. It was only a few minutes walk actually after we'd got to the police station. He basically walked us, he was so nice.
€4 from a taxi, didn't he?
Yeah. And we came back to the hostel, we fell asleep on their sofas in the lobby because we couldn't check in. And then some lady was like, girls, 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 ladies, girls, girls, ladies, girls. And I was like, oh, Lucy, it's us. Let's go. And she was like, your room's ready early. And it was like 5 hours early, so that was so nice of them. We came up at about 8:30 and we literally slept until 1. We slept 5 hours. And I know that's like a bit of a waste of time being here, but genuinely, that was the most horrendous trip that we've had so far. Really, really awful. And obviously, Lucy losing her phone just made it that bit worse. I think I have a cold now, which is great.
We've taken
I've taken like every medication that we brought with us, like paracetamol, hay fever tablets, vitamins, and we went to the other police station, the tourist police station this morning. Not this morning, about 1 when we woke up, and we've signed all the papers and put it in as a report and everything. So that was the long journey that has just happened, and we survived. We have come to a cafe in Athens and we asked for some toast and jam.
Because obviously we haven't eaten.
Because we haven't eaten. Oh dear. We asked for some toast and jam, and this is the situation.
I'm really emotional, I haven't slept. And obviously by now you guys would have known what's happened. Okay, so even though I haven't got a phone, I'll probably be videoing more, so I have to have technology in my hand because I'm a weirdo and was...
They've given us this, but what do we do with it?
Oh! And I've got headphones now, so winning. We're on one of these fun open tour bus things, which I've never been on, and Tia's never been on. I was saying I feel like I'm like from Friends, when they, you know, when they go to London, like Joey. Greece, baby. It doesn't sound as good in an English accent. I'm really surprised. I think it's the light that's making my skin look better than it is. Maybe it's just that I can't see. But it's actually horrible. Tia and I have not worn makeup today because we haven't got a lot of time in Greece.
We need to switch, and, this one's broken.
I was going to sit over here originally. We're moving because of course our thing's broken. How exciting, yeah. So we get to, oh wow, look how pretty that building is with all the plants on it.
Oh, number one.
This is exciting. Yeah, so we get to see all the sites. If we stayed on the bus, it's an hour and a half, but it's a hop on, hop off service. That's fun.
We've just been to the Acropolis and it was amazing, wasn't it?
Sorry, I thought there was something on my leg.
I took a few sneaky videos and so I have put them in, but
it had really weird rules like no singing, no loud noises, no moving pictures. It didn't say video, it said moving pictures.
And now
basically finished two slushies and now I've got a tummy ache. Tia didn't like hers, so
very nice. It's very sour.
What's sour?
And so now, now we're just waiting. Thanks.
We had a photographer that took a picture of us.
Our legs look so long in it. Lucy, you're poking me in the eye.
I know, isn't that
Stop.
fun?
Now we're waiting for our bus to come. It should be here in 5 minutes, he said. Oh, is that it, Lucy? Is that? No, that's not the right one, is it?
Yeah, it is.
No, that was the one that was over there. We're just getting on the bus now because we're going to go to the stadium. Pasarelinis. So good at pronouncing things. Hello. We have finished from the stadium. It was amazing, and we decided to get a taxi back because I think all the bus is finished. We're in Bershka at the moment. We decided to come in because the fashion's super different here, so we're having a look, and it's really cool. I'll show you around. I like these. They're nice. Like fanny packs in style. Does this count? This is cool. I like this look, although I don't like Brittany. Different t-shirt. Where's Lucy? Over here.
Sounds like a cute little restaurant in Greece. It's called. There we are. So I think we're gonna get like a nice Greek salad and maybe an appetizer first. Yeah, we just went shopping. We went to Bershka and got a few things. He got a nice dress to wear in Paris. I'm just about surviving. Just using the camera and trying not to think about it. It's like, you know, when you've lost something and you picture it so well that you feel like it's there. It's like that. It's just weird. It's horrible. We're gonna eat now and get back to the hostel to try to sleep. We're all just really tired. So we're gonna eat quick and sleep. Okay.